An Alabama couple have been arrested after their 2-year-old daughter was tested positive for drugs, cocaine. This happened on Saturday in a town called Daphne in Alabama. The 2-year-old girl was found naked and disorientated outside of a neighbor's apartment. The neighbor discovered the child lying in front of their home, and the 2-year-old, we don't know the 2-year-old's name, but we're told that the 2-year-old was suffering from heat exposure and dehydration, of course. Emergency services were called, medical crews arrived at the scene. Unfortunately, the article that I've read through hasn't given us any further information in regards to the medical condition of the child, of the 2-year-old girl. I'm going to assume, and I'm going to also hope and pray that I'm right, I'm going to assume that the 2-year-old girl is fine, that she was able to recover from the heat exposure, from the dehydration, and any damage that the cocaine would have caused. That's my presumption. I do hope that I'm right. We're also not told whether or not the child has been taken into Child Protective Service custody or similar, assigned to a new guardian. We're not told. I think we can be confident that the 2-year-old will no longer be under the guardianship of her parents. So her parents have been arrested. Their names are Tyler Still and Hannah Strazheim. They were arrested shortly after medical crews arrived at the scene. Hospital staff performed tests and they identified that the 2-year-old girl tested positive for cocaine. Authorities searched the parents' home. They uncovered a stash of drugs and a stash of guns, both of which were within the child's reach. So how did the 2-year-old girl get cocaine in her system? How did she get into a state where she was naked and disorientated, lying in front of a neighbor's apartment, suffering from heat exposure and dehydration? How the heck did that happen? Simple answer. She's incredibly unlucky to be born the daughter of 2 dumbass, criminal, drug-dealing, scumbag parents. Tyler Still, 23 years of age, and Hannah Strazheim, 21 years of age. That's how it looks to me. They had a stash of drugs and guns in the home, cocaine, OxyContin pills, drug paraphernalia, 3 semi-automatic handguns. Sounds like drug dealers to me. Could be wrong. Don't think I will be. So we're told that both parents have been charged with possession of a controlled substance, chemical endangerment of a child, and possession of drug paraphernalia. They're both jailed on a bail of $25,000 each. So I'm going to throw a few comments out at this point. First off, okay, again, we're not told of the medical condition of the 2-year-old girl, but I have to hope and pray that she is perfectly fine and will be in the safe custody under the safe guardianship of a responsible adult, someone that will act as a legitimate parent and not expose her to reckless dangers. So a blessing here, I'm going to say, and I hope I'm right, is that she is safe and that she will be moving forward under the care of more responsible people. Hopefully. I really, really do hope that is the case. So there's one comment. Another comment is, these charges and the bond, are they severe enough? Why aren't they being charged for being drug dealers? I guess one reason could be that they're not drug dealers. Perhaps the cocaine that they had was for personal use. Don't know. Perhaps it's too early in the investigation for officers, investigators to place charges in relation to drug dealing or similar. So they seemingly have placed the charges that they feel confident will stick. Perhaps further charges will be added pending an investigation, which I presume will be occurring. But even with that, a $25,000 bond, is that enough? I'm going to say no. So I know that it does vary from state to state. And again, this happened in a town called Daphne in Alabama. But my understanding in America is that for most states or many states, to get released from custody, county jail, or wherever it happens to be, you typically need to pay an approximate 10% or 20% of the bond amount. So in this case, that would be $2,500, perhaps $5,000 each. And if these guys are drug dealers, they'll have that money, no questions. Even if they are not drug dealers, they might well have that money to bail themselves out. They may have family and friends that are able to bail themselves out, to bail them out. And I don't think that should be allowed, frankly. What are we doing here? Are we saying it's no big deal? Okay, it's not a big deal. So what? She had some cocaine in her system. So what? Yeah, get over it. She's fine. Is that what we're doing here? We're just accepting it. It's not a big deal. Is that why the bond is only $25,000? Okay, the girl was out on the streets naked, disorientated, drugs in her system. She had access to a few guns. These things happen. Can't blame the parents all the time. Is that what we're doing? $25,000. So they can both easily get out of jail, out of custody. And I don't think that should be the case. they are extremely lucky that their daughter has survived. From my take on this situation, again, having just read through one short article, they both are guilty of having exposed their child, a 2-year-old girl, to, I'm going to say, extreme danger. The 2-year-old had direct access to cocaine. The 2-year-old ingested the cocaine. Seemingly, the 2-year-old also had direct access to guns. And I've seen way too many cases of children getting a gun, shooting themselves or a sibling or someone else in the home and killing themselves or someone else. There's been a couple of situations like that in the last 7 days, which I've not made videos on. So anyway, I guess I've said everything that I want to say at this point. I'm very grateful that the girl is okay, although I am guessing that she is. I think the article would have given us more information if the girl had continued to suffer serious medical issues. So she has an angel looking over her. The parents have been arrested. They've been charged, but the charges are pretty light, to be honest, as far as I understand. But I'm not a lawyer. Perhaps chemical endangerment of a child is a very serious offense that carries a significant sentence attached to it. Hopefully that is the case. So I can point to their bond, $25,000 each. Not enough in my mind. It trivializes the situation. Okay, they're lucky. The 2-year-old girl is lucky. We're all lucky that the girl didn't die, but she could have done very, very easily. And the parents need to be held adequately accountable for that. So I'm going to wrap things up at this point. If you appreciate the coverage, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit, and take care.